Whatever you're into when it comes to sports, you can find it right here. Now, play my intro. Hope y'all liked it, the brand new intro, the brand new breaking news thing. We're not going to be on here very long, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm Robb Johnson. My guy here, Larry Passon. Larry, tell him I was talking about you earlier this morning, man. Tell him real quick about what you got going on real quick and all the great stuff you've been doing and the videos and everything.
So Game Time Sports Network, Facebook, YouTube, got Game Time 365 Sports on Instagram. I'm going around the James River District, and I live in Prince Edward County, so I'm going around different, surrounding counties, just previewing different football teams in the district, man. Just getting it ready. I feel like it's something that's needed. So I'm actually supposed to be going to Amelia today. So yeah, man, just check out the content, man.
Most definitely check out the man's content. Make sure you're sharing, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Now we're not gonna be here long, folks. Maybe like 5 minutes or so. Let's get to the breaking news. JJ McCarthy, he had a little bit of a bad start on Saturday night. He ends up with 2 touchdowns. But here's the problem, Larry. Here's the breaking news. He's going to be out for an unknown amount of time with the torn meniscus. If it's just a little chipping of it, then it'll be maybe 2 to 3 weeks. If they have to go in and actually repair it, then it's going to be months. How do you feel about this, Larry? How do you think other teams are going to approach this now, seeing that J.J. McCarthy, who pretty much only had an ankle injury, and I looked through his injury history, he's played through everything. That ankle injury he had in college in late November, he played through it, so who knows if that could have lingered and went up to the knee. How do you think this is going to affect other teams, how they play their rookie quarterbacks?
It definitely brings a sting to it. I mean, he had a decent, showing out. Yeah, he threw 2 tugs. He had an interception. He had a pick. But he threw 188. He was 11 of 17. So, now that you gotta put him down. Guys like Caleb Williams, you gotta look at him and other guys like Bo Nix, guys that was drafted early. So it definitely takes a turn and it's something to look at. Like, do we want to sacrifice? But that's a big blow. And now the Vikings got to focus more on Sam Darnold or Jaron Hall, whoever wins the job there. So definitely a big blow. But like you said, he played through injuries before.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever he comes back, and it's an unknown amount of time right now. So who knows when that is? But I'm definitely expecting him to compete whenever he gets straight.
Again, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you mentioned Sam Darnold real quick. Let's talk about Sam Darnold. Do you think, and I was just talking about Bailey Zappi earlier, do you think that the Minnesota Vikings, they have cap space now, should they go out and get another quarterback to be behind Sam Darnold? We know his history. Sam Darnold gets hurt. Sam Darnold gets inconsistent at times. If you're a Justin Jefferson, your mind has to be blown right now. So if you're the Vikings, do you make a move at quarterback? And that's why I think this past weekend, like we saw performances from Trey Lance, stuff like that, that was so important. Even a guy like Josh Dobbs, who just left the Vikings, could possibly come back because he had a decent performance. So if you're the Minnesota Vikings, do you bring another guy in?
You have to. You
have
to.
Have to.
Especially like you're looking at these backup guys, all from these different teams. That this week is a big week for like backup quarterbacks. Like you got
yes sir.
Got to show out because Minnesota Vikings, and I'm pretty sure there's other injuries that's going to come along. During the stretch and training camp. You still got training camp going on. You got joint practices and all that going on. So this is a big week. This week and next week, big week for like the backup quarterbacks. They could have a starting job going into the season.
Yeah, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, you lose Kirk Cousins last year. Your number one, your first round pick goes down. Jordan Addison could be suspended because of the whole DUI situation. Justin Jefferson was hurt last year. I mean, honestly, man, what is going on with the Minnesota? In your opinion, what's going on with the Minnesota Vikings right now? It just feels like every year there's something where it looks like they can't compete. And for me, I wasn't the biggest J.J. McCarthy fan, but I said on record as well that he's still better than Drake May. And if you're the Patriots now, do you even roll your quarterback out there this week? Because it's like he didn't have the greatest performance, but he's athletic, just like J.J. McCarthy, and you worry about him trying to do too much. Is that a concern you think that they have up in New England right now?
In this case, no. I think you still play Drake May.
You have,
You
yeah,
still got to see what you got.
yeah.
You can't go in. They can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, we're going to put Drake May down for the rest of the preseason," and then after going what 2 for 3,
Yep.
no, yeah, two little screen passes. We got to see what else he has. Joe Milton. They can't expect Joe Milton that to go out and just beat this kid. Not expect, but he can't have himself going into the season with Joe Milton just kind of like tearing it up.
In
So
other words, Larry, it's a bad look for the Patriots if they continue to draft this way. When they blame Bill Belichick for the drafting, but you'll continue to draft bad by bringing in a Drake May, who we didn't think would be a number 3 overall pick. He's good, but he's not. I mean, I even had like I said, JJ McCarthy over him, so this is a big blow. I think last question here. We had our past show this weekend. We talked about, and I previewed some of the games for this upcoming weekend. Again, for those who say preseason is not important, this is just an example of why it is just that important. Like you said, the backup quarterbacks, everything. If you're a backup, you potentially have a starting job in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you look at some of the guys like a Bailey Zappi, a Trey Lance, because I think Trey Lance could be trade bait. If he goes out there and plays well, Minnesota looks and says, hey, he's young. Maybe we could do something. Maybe we could bring him in, gadget plays or whatnot, because you don't know how long McCarthy's going to be out. These knee injuries are funky, man, especially when you have an individual like J.J. McCarthy who's athletic and relies on his athletic ability to move around.
yeah, the knee is definitely nothing to play with. So
No.
The backup quarterbacks, hey man, y'all gotta strap up, and it's a big week for y'all, man. Starting Thursday.
Yeah.
You talking about Bailey Zappi starting Thursday. He got a big game, man.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett as well. Kenny Pickett could be Kenny Pickett possibly, right? Because you know that if Kenny Pickett's out here balling in preseason, the Eagles really want him to stay on that roster. You don't want to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. Last question: have you ever had a meniscus injury before?
No, I haven't.
I have, and it took about a year. No lateral movement, things like that. So yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, like I said, thanks for Larry Pass for coming on. Like I said, make sure you check him out on Game Time Sports Network. Again, that was a breaking news segment from the Robb. But you guys, it was episode 69. We were supposed to have episode 70 on Sunday, but we got breaking news. So I got episode 70 tomorrow. We got 71 on Sunday with me and Larry Passon. Larry, you have a good day, sir. Everybody, you be safe. And hopefully a quick recovery for Mr. J.J. McCarthy.